Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Danger on the run. The search for a potentially dangerous suspect this morning after a chase ends with a crash in Wake County.
And we're starting off cold this morning, but it's going to be a cool and I would say relatively sun-filled day for us. 51 this afternoon. Warmer weather, though, on the way with rain chances. We're going to time them out coming up.
And travel rebounds today. The expected bump as people return from Christmas or fly out for New Year's. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on your day after Christmas. I'm Eric Miller. A lot of folks, I'm sure, sleeping off those Christmas festivities, those feasts. Anthony, good morning to maybe sit under the blankets with a good cup of hot chocolate.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking what a perfect day for the second, or the day after Christmas here to just be tucked in with these cold temperatures, with a good deal of sunshine headed this way. It's going to be a beautiful day, but this morning, yeah, we're starting off chilly. We're at 34 around the triangle, right at that freezing mark in Goldsboro. I hope all of you, though, had a great holiday, or if you're still celebrating Hanukkah, for instance. We're looking at a nice couple of days. 51 for us this afternoon, 44 at 6 o'clock this evening. Partly cloudy for us today. It should not come with any rain. Traveling is looking good across both North Carolina, South Carolina, even up into Virginia. We're looking just fine. That stays that way today, tomorrow, but then a couple light areas of rain possible on Saturday. I think as far as travel is concerned, that would majorly be focused back toward the mountains as far as some rain coming in. Sunday is looking a little bit interesting at this point as far as some inconvenient weather in the form of rain, maybe some storms coming in. It doesn't look like a big time severe threat at this point, but that's something we're going to watch. We're going to time that out here specifically, go hour by hour on Futurecast and show you some much warmer temperatures here coming up in just a few minutes.
Anthony, thank you very much. To breaking news now. Police are looking for a man they say is dangerous in Wake County. They tell us a suspected kidnapper led them on a chase that ended in a crash, and then he ran away from them. Nick Perlin is in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. He joins us from the Garner Police Department with more. Nick, police have given us a bit of information here on who exactly it is they're looking for.
Eric, we do know from Garner Police that they are looking for 25-year-old Davion Whittle, and they do say that he poses a threat to the public. I want to show you some video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. This is from last night. You see this car here that's crashed. This is the car that Whittle was driving when he was speeding away from police, and he rolled that car over on Fayetteville Road. Now, police were trying to arrest Whittle on kidnapping charges out of New York, but Whittle got away, and police are still looking for him this morning. Now, here's a description of Whittle from Garner Police. Whittle is a 6'1" black man with a heavy set, a beard and locks, and is wearing dark pants and a blue jacket. Now, police have been looking for Whittle for about 14 hours now. We're currently at the Garner Police Department. We're trying to find out more information on where this search stands. As we get more information, we'll be sure to update you. Live in Garner, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Nick, thank you very much. Part of Capitol Boulevard is back open this morning after police shut down lanes to investigate this crash. You can see one car sitting on top of the other there. This happened around 7 last night near Trawick Road in front of the IHOP there. The crash brought down street lights. We're still working to learn if either driver will face charges in this crash. Today, people traveling home from their holiday destinations, so the airport is expected to be very busy out there. You're taking a live look at RDU, where we're seeing 15 delays so far and no cancellations. Yesterday, there were 14 delays and 2 cancellations. That was a lot smoother than Christmas Eve, when there were nearly 50 delays, many of those due to a nationwide American Airlines ground stop. Some travelers we spoke with said flying on Christmas was ideal for them.
So good. I don't have to cook Christmas dinner, so I think that's an advantage. And we open gifts early, so that's an advantage as well.
And now that Christmas is over and the new year is approaching, there are quite a few busy travel days ahead of us. You're going to want to keep an eye on WRAL.com to stay up to date on those travel conditions at RDU. And if you're driving home from a loved one's house or maybe going to visit family, you can hit the road early here. AAA predicts the best time to drive today is going to be before 11 a.m. The worst and busiest times are expected to be between noon and 5 p.m. Here's a look at some of the gas prices you'll see as you head out on the roads here. The current average in North Carolina is $2.86 a gallon. According to Gas Buddy, the current average in Raleigh is $2.90. The national average is going to be a little bit more, $3.04. New this morning, Rocky Mount police are investigating after a man was shot. It happened shortly before 6:30 last night on Maple Street. Police found a 37-year-old man who'd been shot. He was taken to the hospital in Greenville. He is expected to survive. Police say this does not appear to be a random attack, and there is no danger to the public. A Halifax County woman turned herself in after police say she shot 2 men earlier this week. Darniqua Scott is being held without bond after reporting to authorities at the Halifax County Magistrate's office yesterday. Police were searching for Scott after she reportedly shot 2 men in a car Monday night. We're still working to learn what exactly led up to that shooting. To some breaking news now. The Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport is back open after a shooting there. We know that 3 people were shot and another stabbed after what officials are calling a family dispute. It happened just before 10 p.m. their time. Police believe all 5 people involved did know each other, but it's not clear if they were at the airport to travel or for some other purpose. One female juvenile was detained, police said, and no charges have been filed. A fire forced a Raleigh family out of their home on Christmas. This is video from that scene on Dover Road. About 30 firefighters responded. We're told the fire started accidentally from a fireplace and damage was contained to one area. The family was home at the time, but everybody's okay. Smoke damage displaced them for the day. For over 50 years, Raleigh's Helping Hand mission has fed people in the community throughout the holidays. This year was no exception. The organization's director, Sylvia Wiggins, and other volunteers spent the day serving hot food and handing out gifts. It's something she's done every Christmas for years now. She's got a team of volunteers alongside her, giving back to the community they love. One volunteer says she's helping out because of what Wiggins and others have done for her in the past.
Now that I can give back, it means a lot to me now. My kids are older. My oldest is 16, youngest is 11. And I want to give back to the parents, single moms or dads or whoever that can't help their family right now this year.
Hey, you love seeing that, right? This group will do what they can to make sure they can help as many people as possible. They also hand out toys and gifts to families in need during the holidays. For Wiggins, the holidays are about being with family, even if it's family you're not related to. Well, Hanukkah is now underway, and there is a celebration happening this weekend in Raleigh. The Jewish Life Center will host a Hanukkah parade this Sunday, convening with a menorah lighting at the Lafayette Village at 3:45 p.m. The first night of Hanukkah overlapped with Christmas this year. At the Shabbat Center of Raleigh yesterday, families lit menorahs while Christians gathered for Christmas services across the city, of course. The unique overlap, known as Chrismukkah, highlights shared values of love, unity, and light.
So when 2 holidays align and coincide, that just means that there's more people celebrating and there's more light in the world.
Yeah, it was the first time these 2 holidays have overlapped in nearly 20 years. The first light of Hanukkah shone bright in front of the White House last night. Hundreds gathered to watch the 46th annual National Hanukkah Menorah lighting ceremony in D.C. A 30-foot menorah received its first light, marking the first night of the 8-day celebration. The Festival of Lights will be celebrated through January 2nd. Well, modern solutions solving an age-old problem. How new technology brought home a lost dog on Christmas. And down comes the tree. What you can do to get rid of that beacon of Christmas now that the holiday is behind us.
As we head through today, we're looking really good travel-wise. No major issues here the next day or so, but some showers are going to work its way into the forecast for the weekend. We're going to time them out on Futurecast coming up.
Welcome back and taking a live look there over Fayetteville this morning. That sun shining nice and bright as we get our morning started here. Turning now to the forecast, things surprisingly warm out there. Anthony, I know we've just finished the White Christmas discourse. Maybe we should be talking about Beach New Year's.
Oh, honestly, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see our pattern here the next couple days. We're still a little bit cool for us today, tomorrow, but look at where we are headed. I had to kind of do a double take when I was looking at the numbers coming in this morning. 69 degrees on Saturday. We are going to be at 68 on Sunday. So there's going to be a pretty strong warm front coming in. I will say, though, looking at Sunday, it looks like it's going to be potentially windy. We're looking at some rain coming through, and that'll take temperatures down a little bit into our Monday behind a front coming through. Let's talk about the weekend, though. So just a stray shower on our Saturday. Not much coverage, but about 30%. 90, though. You look at Sunday, that looks like going to be our impact day over the next couple of days for us to make us kind of aware of impactful weather. Let's talk about Futurecasts, though, and time this out. Starting off Saturday morning, here's a look at 8 o'clock. We're looking at relatively scattered coverage. Again, there may be a hit or miss area of rain. I'm not too concerned, though, about much rain coming through on Saturday. I think the majority of our travel is looking okay across our part of the state. You get back toward the mountains, though, it may start to get a little bit more unsettled. That kind of is round number one, or at least system number one, if you will. Then we get into Sunday. There's going to be another batch potentially coming through. This one looks like it's going to be more unsettled. I would say the coverage is a little bit greater, kind of off and on through our Sunday. It pushes out by late Sunday night, and then Monday we are dry. So as you're planning through the next couple days, Sunday is definitely going to be the time frame where I think we could see some travel impacts. 34, though, we are quiet for us in Raleigh and Durham. 28 in Roxborough. 31 currently is the wake-up temperature there in Southern Pines. We will head on up for a high of 51 this afternoon. That is going to feel very cool compared to those temperatures that we're seeing here this weekend. Upper 60s both Saturday, Sunday, 63 on Monday. We head into New Year's Eve there, Eric, on Tuesday at 67, so still very warm for the first night there of 2025.
Anthony, thank you very much. One person is dead. Turning now to traffic here this morning, taking a live look out there at I-40 on Wade Avenue, where you can see things are flowing nice and smooth here to start your Thursday. Looking at the traffic map overall, not seeing any major crashes, accidents, or delays. So as AAA said, get out early if you want to avoid those backups on the road. One person is dead after an accident on North Beston Road and Parkstown Road in Goldsboro. The crash is still under investigation. Working to learn more, and we'll bring you the latest on air and online. Police in Texas are searching for an 8-year-old girl after the car she was in hydroplaned in off of a highway and into a creek. 6 people were in the car in Sherman, Texas, about 70 miles north of Dallas. 4 of them were rescued when first responders found the car downstream, and 1 person died. 2 people are still in the hospital. 2 have since gone home. Police say the people were from Oklahoma, traveling south. President-elect Donald Trump has announced his pick for U.S. ambassador to Panama. Trump named Miami-Dade County Commissioner Kevin Marino Cabrera as his choice for the post. The nomination comes as Trump suggested that the U.S. should retake control of the Panama Canal. He proposed that while claiming that Panama is, quote, ripping off American ships that pass through the waterway. Panama's president says the sovereignty and independence of his country are not negotiable. This morning, investigators are working to figure out what caused a plane crash in Kazakhstan. This happened early yesterday morning. Authorities say 38 people on the Azerbaijan Airlines plane died, but 29 survivors were pulled from the wreckage. 2 of the survivors are children. All of them were taken to the hospital for treatment. Russia's aviation watchdog says its preliminary information suggested the pilot made the emergency landing after a bird strike. But the Kazakh government is working with the airline to investigate the cause of the crash itself. Russia launched a large missile and drone attack targeting Ukraine's energy infrastructure on Christmas Day. Ukrainians had to take shelter in metro stations when a thermal power plant was struck. Ukraine's military says it intercepted more than 100 missiles and drones. The state energy operator applied preemptive power outages for much of Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. On X, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Putin deliberately chose Christmas for an attack. What could be more inhumane? Japan Airlines says it's experienced a cyber attack this morning. The airline said the attack began at 7:30 a.m. their time, which would be around 5:30 last night for us. Some domestic and international flights had to be delayed. Ticket sales have now resumed, and the systems are back to normal. The airline says no customer information was leaked. People in Thailand gathered in prayer this morning to mark 20 years since the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. The tsunami struck the day after Christmas, killing around 230,000 people. It was caused by a powerful 9.1 magnitude earthquake that struck off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia. A dog is safe this morning after being stuck on thin ice for nearly a day on a New Jersey lake. The dog ran away and got lost Christmas Eve morning. A woman who was watching the pup for her best friend who was away for the holidays, she called a rescue squad for help when she found the dog, Brooklyn, out on the lake. Some luck began to come in when neighbors pitched in to help. A neighbor worked with police to strap a chicken cutlet to a drone to get the dog to come back to land.
I know what it means to own a dog, and I can't imagine what the owner was going through, so anything I could do to help. If I was in the same situation, I'd be thankful if someone were helping me like that.
As soon as Brooklyn's paws hit land, she took off running again. Finally, she was spotted on a neighbor's porch Christmas morning, and she's now safe. They ended up taking her to the emergency vet, and other than a small cut, all of Brooklyn's tests came back just fine. Employers may need to prepare for worker turnover in the new year. A new Gallup report found job satisfaction is at an all-time low for U.S. employees. The report found more people are looking for new jobs, but not quitting the jobs they already have. Other top concerns for workers in the new year, adapting to AI and issues related to childcare. Bird flu is still having an impact on poultry flocks, cattle, and dairy farms. As Reed Binion reports, it's now spreading to other animals, raising alarms for health experts.
Over 125 million domestic poultry have been either culled or died as a consequence of this virus over the last year.
Concern over bird flu is growing among some health experts.
This bird virus, H5N1, is circulating widely in domestic poultry and on dairy farms.
One point of concern is the spread of the disease in cattle.
Hundreds of dairy herds have been infected.
Nearly 900 herds across 16 states have tested positive.
And there have only been 65 human infections, which is excellent news.
The disease prompted a Portland-based pet food company to issue a nationwide voluntary recall after a house cat in Oregon died from eating one of its products, which tested positive for bird flu. Meanwhile, in neighboring Washington state, bird flu killed more than half the big cats at a sanctuary.
We've lost 20 cats due to this virus or symptoms thereof of this bird flu virus. And you think hopefully it's a bad dream? But it's not.
It's unknown just how the animals contracted the virus. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Live Christmas tree recycling officially begins today in Wake County. Trees dropped off will be turned into mulch to strengthen and beautify park trails across the county. The program runs from December 26th to January 26th at 8 drop-off locations. Recycling is free, but be sure to get all of those decorations off first. The convenience centers are open daily from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can find a location near you by going to wake.gov or by simply searching Happy Trails Christmas Tree Recycling Program. Fayetteville's annual Grinding of the Greens event has been discontinued. The event was a collaboration between the city, Duke Energy, and the Public Works Commission. The PWC says they're exploring new options for the future that'll benefit the community. In the meantime, Fayetteville's residents should place their live Christmas trees at the curb on their scheduled pickup day. In Durham, you'll have to wait until next Thursday to drop off your live tree. You can drop them off at the city's Waste Disposal and Recycling Center. And on Saturday mornings in January, you can drop them off at any of the parks you see on the screen there. Those drop-off times run from 7 a.m. to noon. Well, how do top college athletes prepare for a rival bowl game? By bowling, of course. NC State football shared these photos on X last night. The team is rocking these custom military bowling jerseys, and ECU wasn't left out of the fun here. They got some custom jerseys too. The postseason game is Saturday at 5:45. And UNC football players got to experience a white Christmas. Interim head coach Freddie Kitchens shared this video on X. The team is in Boston for Saturday's Fenway Bowl. Kitchens said it can't be all work and no play, getting into the Christmas spirit after practice. Carolina will take on UConn at 11 on Saturday. Well, it was a holiday filled with giving and gratitude in downtown Raleigh. Volunteers came together yesterday in Moore Square to serve more than 450 hot Christmas meals for those in need. Families, small businesses, and individuals donated the food and their time to make it happen. Mary Brown has organized this event for the past 20 years. She says it's about much more than a meal. It's about spreading kindness during the holiday season.
It's about giving, it's about helping people during hard times, especially Christmas time. And I am very adamant about giving people good things. And I could never, it takes an army to do this. And it's so many people that help me put this together. I could never do this by myself.
Yeah, you love to see that, right? Brown says she's already looking forward to next year. She hopes the tradition keeps growing, helping even more people out there in need. Well, it was an excellent start to the new year, a holiday tradition brought back in Nash County. The different ways you can ring in 2025 across the region. And prepare to binge. Netflix debuts an all-new season of Squid Game. What fans can expect from the follow-up to the viral hit.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
It's 8:26 a.m. I'm Eric Miller. Here's meteorologist Anthony Baglio.
Eric, it is a chilly start for us this morning. Temperatures mainly in the 30s. We're close to the freezing mark in many locations, if not at it there in Goldsboro and Rocky Mount. Today, though, in and of itself, after our chilly start, we will make some progress, and I think it actually will be a really nice afternoon. Right around 51, about where we should be for this time of the year. A good mix of sun and clouds, kind of like what we're seeing out there right now, and no major travel disruptions for us today and tomorrow. We do get some rain coming in, though, late Saturday night into Sunday, and that will affect travel, I think, during the majority of our day on Sunday.
Anthony, thank you. Police in Wake County are looking for a man suspected of kidnapping in New York. This is video taken after 25-year-old Devane Whittle crashed his car while fleeing from police last night. He then ran off. That was more than 12 hours ago. Garner police say Whittle may be a danger to the community. And you're taking a live look at RDU, where holiday travel is ramping back up with people returning home from Christmas celebrations. So far, 15 delays and no cancellations to report so far. Part of Capitol Boulevard is back open this morning after police shut down lanes to investigate a crash. It happened around 7 last night. You can see one car sitting on top of another. That crash brought down street lights at the intersection near Trawick Road. We're working to learn if either driver will face charges here. Up next on Today, the family that's been delivering milk to homes in Seattle for generations. And next on Fox 50, home after the holidays. We're tracking that post-Christmas travel on the roads and in the skies. Leave you with a live look there over Durham as we've got a beautiful day after Christmas on tap.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Now on Fox 50, a suspected kidnapper on the run. The search from law enforcement after a crash in Wake County.
And it's a chilly start for us this morning, but we do have a lot of sunshine through today and some cool temperatures after the 30s this morning. We're going to go over rain chances, though, on the way coming up.
And lighting the menorah, the 8 days of Hanukkah share the message of hope and growth. The festive celebrations coming to the Triangle. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on your day after Christmas. I'm Eric Miller. Turning to our forecast today, you can see we've got a bit of a cloudy start out there, and it's a little chilly out there too, Anthony.
Yeah, we're going to see those temperatures, Eric, here probably hover in the 30s through the next couple of hours, or at least hour or so. We get through the afternoon, though, it should still feel all right for where we should be this time of the year in the 50s. We get us outside, though, this morning. 31 is the temperature currently in Southern Pines, 34 in Fayetteville. We're right about 28, our cold spot there in Roxborough. So if you're up and at 'em early, you are certainly going to want the winter coat here from maybe taking the dogs out for a walk this morning. We go to 51, though, this afternoon. It'll come with about what we're seeing out there right now as far as a good mix of clouds and sun kind of just off and on through the day. It is dry, though. Travel should be good to go today. No issues with that. Look at where we are headed, though. There's something going on in the atmosphere to cause those warmer temperatures in the upper 60s this weekend. It's going to be in the form of a front coming through. That will bring some rain chances by the time we get to Sunday. Monday, we're looking pretty good. We drop down to 63, but that is going to be our big story the next couple of days. Warmer weather on the way and those rain chances that could definitely affect travel. We're going to walk through those chances, though, on Futurecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Anthony, thank you very much. Well, taking a live look out there now at I-540 at Leesville Road. That's pretty much the story for traffic all across the region. Things moving there nice and smooth, and moving nice and smooth on roadways all across the entire region. You can see we do have a crash that's popped up just the last couple of minutes on Capitol Boulevard there. Not seeing any major backups or delays on the sensors at this point, but we keep checking in to see if there are any issues there and to see how serious that crash is. To breaking news now, police are looking for a man they say is dangerous and likely in Wake County. They tell us a suspected kidnapper led them on a chase that ended in a crash, and then he ran away from them. WRAL's Nick Perlin has the latest on the search from Garner Police.
Garner police have told us that they are looking for 25-year-old Davion Whittle after he drove away from police last night. They say he poses a threat to the public. Now take a look at this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. You can see here this car badly damaged and flipped over. Police say this is the car Whittle was driving when he was driving away from police last night. He crashed on Fayetteville Road. At this point in time, police tell us they were trying to arrest him, and that's when he took off, and they're still looking for him this morning. Now, here's a description of Whittle. He's a 6'1" black man with a heavy set. They say he has a beard, locks, is wearing dark pants, and a blue jacket. At this point in time, we're still working with the Garner Police Department to find out where this search stands. As we get more information on what's going on this morning, we'll be sure to update you. In Garner, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Part of Capitol Boulevard is back open this morning after police shut down lanes to investigate this crash. Just take a look at this. You can see one car sitting on top of another. This happened around 7 last night near Trawick Road in front of the IHOP there. The crash brought down streetlights. We're working to learn if either driver will face charges in this crash. Taking a live look at RDU now. We're in the last 10 minutes. 2 cancellations are being reported. We're also seeing 15 delays. Today, people are going to be traveling home from their holiday destinations, so the airport is expected to be very busy. Yesterday, there were 14 delays and 2 cancellations. That was a lot smoother than Christmas Eve, when there were nearly 50 delays, many of those due to a nationwide American Airlines ground stop. Some travelers we spoke with said flying on Christmas was ideal for them.
We're so good. I don't have to cook Christmas dinner, so I think that's an advantage. And we open gifts early, so that's an advantage as well.
Yeah, trading Christmas dinner for airline peanuts there. Now that Christmas is over and the new year is approaching, there are quite a few busy travel days ahead of us. You can keep an eye on WRAL.com to stay up to date on travel conditions at RDU. And if you're driving home from a loved one's house or maybe going to visit family, you're going to want to hit the road early. AAA predicts the best time to drive today is going to be before 11 a.m. The worst and busiest times to drive are expected to be between noon and 5 p.m. And here's a look at some of the gas prices you'll see as you head out on the roads. The current average in North Carolina is $2.86 a gallon. According to Gas Buddy, the current average in Raleigh is $2.90. The national average going to cost you a little more at $3.04 a gallon. A family wants to know what led to a Raleigh police officer shooting and killing their dog. This happened Christmas Eve on Alder Grove Road. Security camera footage shows the officers pull up. Then you hear gunshots and see the dog lying on the ground. Raleigh police say they went to the neighborhood for a stolen car investigation. They say an aggressive dog charged at an officer who then shot and killed him. The family still left with questions.
Why didn't he just tase him, pepper sprayed? Why did he have to shoot him right in the head?
Yeah, police are working with the dog's family, saying it's not the result they wanted. RPD's Internal Affairs Unit is also investigating this incident, which is standard when an officer fires their gun. New this morning, Rocky Mount police are investigating after a man was shot. It happened shortly before 6:30 last night on Maple Street. Police found a 37-year-old there who'd been shot. He was taken to the hospital in Greenville, where he is expected to survive. Police say this does not appear to be a random attack, and there is no danger to the public. A Halifax County woman turned herself in after police say she shot two men earlier this week. Darniquia Scott is being held without bond after reporting to authorities at the Halifax County Magistrate's office yesterday. Police were searching for Scott after she reportedly shot two men in a car Monday night. We're still working to learn what led up to that shooting. To breaking news we've been following out of Phoenix. The Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport is back open after a shooting there. We know that 3 people were shot and another stabbed after what police are calling a family dispute. It happened just before 10 p.m. their time. Police believe all 5 people involved knew each other, but it's not clear if they were at the airport to travel or for another reason. One female juvenile was detained, police said, and no charges have been filed. Well, the first light of Hanukkah shone bright in front of the White House last night. Hundreds gathered to watch the 46th annual National Hanukkah Menorah lighting ceremony in D.C. A 30-foot menorah received its first light, marking the first night of the 8-day celebration. The Festival of Lights will be celebrated through January 2nd. And Hanukkah celebrations continue this weekend right here in Raleigh. The Jewish Life Center will host a Hanukkah parade this Sunday, convening with a menorah lighting at the Lafayette Village at 3:45 p.m. The first night of Hanukkah overlapped with Christmas this year. At the Shabbat Center of Raleigh yesterday, families lit menorahs. At the same time, of course, Christians were gathering for Christmas services across the city. The overlap here, known to some as Christmaka, highlights shared values of love, unity, and light.
When two holidays align and coincide, that just means that there's more people celebrating and there's more light in the world.
Yeah, hard to complain about, right? It was the first time these two holidays have overlapped in nearly 20 years. For over 50 years, Raleigh's Helping Hand mission has fed people in the community throughout the holidays. This year was no exception. The organization's director, Sylvia Wiggins, and other volunteers spent yesterday serving hot food and handing out gifts. It's something she has done every Christmas for years now. She's got a team of volunteers alongside her, giving back to the community they love. One volunteer says she's helping out because of what Wiggins and others have done for her in the past.
Now that I can give back, it means a lot to me. Now my kids are older. My oldest is 16, youngest is 11. And I want to give back to the parents, single moms or dads or whoever that can't help their family right now this year.
Yeah, it's a good message. This group will do what they can to make sure they help as many people as possible. They also handed out toys and gifts to family in need during the holidays. For Wiggins, the holidays are all about being with family, even if it's family you're not related to. Well, gathered for the holidays, an event strengthens bonds for families in Western North Carolina. How they celebrated Christmas despite the devastation of Helene. And ringing in the new year, whether it's the pickle, the acorn, or even the catfish, the unique ways you can welcome 2025. And it should be a cool but calm day out there. You're taking a live look in Sanford. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione is tracking our next chance for rain. He'll time it out for us just ahead. Welcome back. Taking a live look there over Pinehurst, where things are sunny, bright, and those golfers are out on the course because they are always out there on the course. Turning to our forecast today, maybe not sunny for everybody across the region here. Anthony, looking a little cloudier over there in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, we have some clouds kind of hanging around some of our viewing area, but for the majority of us, we're going to see kind of a good mixture of sun and clouds. But this is our camera there in Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. And it's looking certainly pretty cloudy. We're going to keep that on there for the next little while. But I do think through today, a good mix of sun and clouds overall. Here's the wide view across the state, though. Temperature-wise, we're sitting in the 30s for the majority of us. degrees, so it is cold. If you're up and at 'em early, you're taking the dogs out, yourself going for a walk or something this morning, you'll want to bundle up. 36 there is the temperature back in Knoxville, Tennessee, right at 32, the freezing mark in Boone, 38 currently in Charlotte this morning. We talk about, though, where we head here the next couple of days. I know lots of us still traveling, heading home, or maybe going to just other destinations for New Year's. Here's where we sit currently, and we're looking good across the region. The only rain that's showing up on this map is back toward the Ohio and Tennessee Valley, and it's going to stay there as we go through today. I want to take us, though, through Futurecast for when we could see some rain chances coming in. We play this along, looking really good for us today. Just partly cloudy skies overall, maybe leaning a little bit toward the mostly cloudy side of things, but looking pretty good overall. We get into tomorrow. Again, we're still dry. There's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We start to see at least some rain getting close to the mountains, but I'll take you into early Saturday morning. It's still pretty scattered coverage at this point, but we go through the afternoon. Most of that trying to get close. I still have us only about a 30% chance for some rain on Saturday. It goes up to 90% on Sunday. So that is going to be the more impactful day at this point as far as travel is concerned. You look at that coverage there. There's a look right around lunchtime, and everyone is looking at rainfall on Sunday before it tapers off into Monday. So look at where we're headed, though. 51 today, 50 tomorrow, upper 60s through the weekend. The temperatures are going to be a big story for us there, too, Eric. And then even into next week, 67 degrees there on New Year's Eve. Very, very warm.
Whew. Got to get those short sleeves ready. Anthony, thank you. Taking a live look out there right now at I-40 at 885. You can see traffic is flowing just fine to start off your Thursday morning. Of course, that advice from AAA was to get out early and take advantage of what we're seeing out here on the traffic map across the region. That is all green all the way across the board. No crashes, backups, or delays. We'll, of course, keep a close eye on things on that map. Let you know as they change. A man has been arrested for a random stabbing spree inside the Grand Central subway station in New York City. 28-year-old Jason Sargent has been arrested for the assault on 2 random people. Police say this happened Christmas Eve night. Officers say a 26-year-old woman was slashed in the neck and a 42-year-old man was slashed in the left wrist. Both were taken to the hospital and are expected to be okay. This comes just days after a woman was lit on fire and burned alive on a subway train. Some New Yorkers are concerned about the overall safety of the subways after this latest attack.
You're kind of in fight or flight mode. Every time you get in, you take a deep breath, and walk into it.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams weighed in on the slashings, saying the incidents were a symptom of a mental health and housing crisis that needs to be addressed at the state and local level. Officials in Hawaii are investigating after a body was found in the wheel well of a United Airlines plane. The Boeing 787 flew from Chicago to Maui on Christmas Eve, arriving Tuesday afternoon. That's when United Airlines officials say the body was found inside of the wheel well of one of the main landing gears. That well is only accessible from outside the plane. Officials say it's unclear how or when that person got inside. Maui police are investigating. Hiding in a plane's wheel well is the most common method used by stowaways. The FAA says more than 77% of people who try it do not survive the journey. Now, we've got many unique ways to mark the new year here in North Carolina. If you are new to the area, we're here to run you through them. In Vance County, they are going to be dropping, what else? A catfish. This is a first for the county. It's going to be happening at Satterwhite Point. County commissioners approved the move earlier this year. An 8 to 10 foot metal catfish, all lit up, will be lowered out of the sky at midnight. Some sketches and mock-ups here so you can get a sense of what it'll look like. Christy Steinbeck is a local metal artist in the community. She's creating the catfish. The plan is for the sculpture to be displayed in a few state parks throughout the year. Meanwhile, the Mount Olive Pickle Drop is back for another year in Wayne County. The fire department will help out again to get the job done as the glowing New Year's Eve pickle drops into a giant pickle jar. This is perfect for people who want to be asleep by 9. It starts at 5 and the pickle goes into the jar at 7 with everything wrapping up around 7:30 with a fireworks show. And in Nash County, Nashville took a crack at a new tradition last year, and it's back again. The egg drop is happening at the Nashville Junction on South Barn Street. Braswell Family Farms sponsors it. It's another great option for people who want to celebrate but also want to get to bed at their normal time. It starts at 4, wraps up at 7. They'll have live music with some photo ops with characters, including Bluey. That was a packed house for the annual Teamworks Christmas meal event in Southern Pines yesterday. Santa and Mrs. Claus provided gifts for children, and volunteers prepared hundreds of meals for local families at the First Baptist Church. Meals were also delivered to more than 70 on-duty emergency responders in the area who had to work yesterday. All food and gifts were donated by local businesses and members of the community. Well, here's some cuteness to start your day off here. UNC Health shared photos of their Christmas babies. There are also some proud parents having an extra Merry Christmas here. The hospital is wishing them a happy holiday season filled with health and joy and, well, the best present you could get. This holiday season is a challenging one for communities recovering from Hurricane Helene in western North Carolina. Madison County, one of the hardest hit areas, came together in a special way to celebrate Christmas yesterday. The owners of Iron Horse Station say they organized an event trying to get people in the community to celebrate the holiday. Western North Carolinians gathered for a hot meal, music, crafts, and of course, gifts. Volunteers stepped up to make this happen. People coming from all across the country.
This has been one of my favorite towns to come through. The people, very good people, very kind. I've helped a lot of people since I've been up here, but like this town, they've been supporting us as much as we've been helping them.
Yeah, an estimated 7,000 gifts were donated from across the state to the Hot Springs toy distribution happening there. Well, the sequel to one of Netflix's top hits debuts today. Rick Damigella reports on Squid Game Season 2, 3 years after the original became a viral hit.
456번 너한테 뭘 원하지? 다시 게임을 하게 해줘.
It's time to play again in the second season of Squid Game.
엄마, 가만 둬면 다 갖고도 남아.
What can fans expect this season?
새로운 게임이죠. 예.
New games, of course.
새로운 캐릭터.
And new characters.
새로운 갈등.
And new conflicts.
또 새로운 우정.
And new friendship.
난 그 게임을 멈추려는 거야.
Squid Game's creator and cast were surprised at the series' worldwide viral popularity.
너무 놀라운 일이었죠. 물론 크리에이터로서.
It came as a shock because, of course, when you set out to work with a company like Netflix as a creator, you go into it hoping that your show will be a global success, but never to the point where it became quite literally the biggest show in history. So at times, I had moments where I thought it all felt so surreal, and I would ask myself, is someone pranking me?
세상에 맡기지 않는 한 게임은 끝나지 않아.
배우로서 한국의 콘텐츠가
As an actor working mainly in Korea, I was totally surprised by the huge success of the Squid Game, given the fact that this is produced in a different language, not English. So many of us would consider it kind of a miracle.
456번 게임에 돌아온 걸 환영하네.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Beyonce gave her fans the holiday gift of a live Cowboy Carter performance. Her halftime show during the Ravens-Texans game was the first time she performed songs from the album live. She came out on a white horse while singing 16 Carriages. There were many surprise cameos on stage with her, including Post Malone, Shabuzi, and her daughter, Blue Ivy. The Baltimore Ravens are now leading the AFC North. They dominated the Houston Texans in the second of 2 NFL games on Christmas Day. The Ravens won 31-2. Quarterback Lamar Jackson was at the top of his game, completing 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing. Jackson broke Michael Vick's career rushing record with that play. The Ravens will play their final game of the season against the Cleveland Browns next Sunday, January 5th. The Texans finish their season playing the Tennessee Titans next Sunday as well. Earlier in the day, the Kansas City Chiefs clinched the #1 seed in the AFC with a 29-10 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Chiefs dominated most of the action. Each of their first 2 possessions were long drives that resulted in touchdowns. Both teams play their final game on Sunday, January 5th. The Chiefs will play the Broncos. The Steelers will play the Bengals. The final Thursday night football game of 2024 is tonight. The Seattle Seahawks will be in Chicago to take on the Bears. You can watch at 8:15 on Prime Video.